Hello, hello, and welcome. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, and just welcome to this podcast. I want to thank you for being here. On this show, on my channel, I talk about how to expand your world of thought, explore the world of positive thinking, law of attraction, and consciousness from many points of view. It is my intention to share with you information that will enlighten and empower you in your life. I'm here to encourage you to think in the positive and show you that miracles can happen. I truly believe that you have been given the power of the word and thought to create the life that you desire. This, recording, when I talk about enlighten you, I also talk about how things in our world influence us. It influences the way we think, the way we act, the way we treat people, the way we see people in our lives. One of the things that I had decided early on, as many people were telling us and who are wanting to see the right things in the world, those of us who detest bullying to a major degree, and that we saw it happening in the United Kingdom, to use our platform to enlighten, to let people know that you can't believe everything you see and hear from the so-called news media, that we need to pay attention, that when they say in the beginning, this is an opinion piece, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're telling you what actually is going on. They are telling you it from their point of view, but unfortunately, many times they twist it and tell lies and fabrications and half-truths. And when the entity, whether it's an institution or a charity or a company or people, decide to come out and tell you exactly how things are from the way they live it, these opinion makers, these news makers, turn around and say, you can't believe what they say. You've got to believe us. Really? You got to believe us? Nah. It was kind of like when 45, the former president, and I am probably paraphrasing because, by the way, this is an opinion piece, when he said, don't believe what you see, don't believe what you hear, just believe what I tell you. And do you realize that there are people who actually do that? The term gaslighting has been thrown around and used and talked about, and it's like, and definitions are made, but basically it's kind of telling you that you don't know what you're talking about. It's kind of telling you that what you see and what you heard isn't there. Let's talk about some gaslighting phrases. I have no idea what you're talking about. You didn't say that. You never told me to do that. You didn't ask me for that. You never mentioned it. You're overreacting. You're too emotional. Come on, lighten up. Be less stressed. It's no big deal. Or it's your imagination. I don't know where you were, but that wasn't where I was. You don't know what you're talking about. I was never there. What do you mean you saw me? You didn't see me. It must have been somebody that looked like me. You're not making sense. Come on, honey. Especially in front of other people, they might say, come on, you sound crazy. You're over-exaggerating. That can't be. You didn't do that. Now, why am I talking about all these gaslighting phrases? Well, good Prince Harry has shocked the world. Well, didn't shock us Sussex squad people, but he shocked the world. He said, I'm writing a memoir. Now, when I first read that, I went, a memoir? Usually old people do that. Tell you where I am. And then finally somebody brought up what a memoir was. I looked up a memoir. And it's like, oh, it's only a snapshot of your life. It's a snapshot of what's going on. And he said, basically that he was going to, share with you why he is the man he is today. Now, I'm not going to quote what the announcement was, because you can find that anywhere. Just look for Harry's announcement. But basically, here's my thoughts. Why is that tiny island so terrified? I mean, they have just gone off the rails. What in the world could Harry unleash in his memoir that has them running around in a panic state? And it's not, now let me put it this way. It's all the pundits, it's the royal rota, it's the so-called, royal experts, and I have seen so much in, here we go with the source, okay? Or here's another one I read. Clarence House is also believed to be worried about what Harry might write about his stepmother, Camilla. Now, let me stop right there. Because in that sentence, you got to read these things with a fine-tooth comb. In this sentence, it says, Clarence House is also believed to be worried. It doesn't say Clarence House, is worried. No, because also believed to be worried. All that says is they got this source, which could be a fellow reporter, right? Got this source, and they're talking to each other, and you say, I'll bet you Clarence House is also worried about what Harry might write. And, ooh, yeah, and Camilla? Well, yeah. So, what does he know that they, and I'm getting they in parentheses, are afraid he will tell? So my question is, how is telling the dirt relevant to his memoir? Because if he's talking about how he became the man he is today, he's going to tell about the things that happened to him, the things that you saw in the paper that were true, and those that were exaggerated or those that were untrue. He's going to set some of those records straight. I believe he will only tell of how it has made him the man he is today. No dirt, only pertinent conversations that helped him grow. You know, when they talk about, Harry unleashing stuff in his memoir, I made some notes. One of the things that has been talked about, it's been said all over Twitter world, and I don't go on Facebook anymore, and Instagram, is the British media is still in a quandary over the fact that Harry and Meghan have shut the door on them making money on them. They have to write all types of things and dream up all manner of scenarios to get clicks and make cash. Sometimes I wonder if they ever thought of the fact that if they had laid off, of course Murdoch might not have wanted him to, they would have had to go to another publication that was free from right-wing haters, race baiters, whatever you want to, classism. They would have had to go to a different thing. They could have created their own platform. Just like many squaddies have made their own, Sussex Squad podcasts and Duchess of Impact and, the Royal Review, I believe. Not the Royal Reviewer. He's not, no, that's not it. I'll have to find it and put it in the show notes. But I'll put some of the platforms that, YT Entertainment. I mean, all of them. They could have done like us and just started talking, and they get advertisements on their channels or on their website or on their blogosphere. They could have a Patreon, and they could make money just like the hater channels. They're making money from spewing dirt. But they don't have these royal reporters no longer have integrity about their life. One of the things I made notes for, it says the courtiers, and I am cracking up because when they talk about the Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace or Clarence House is all up in arms, it's the people that work in there, the ones that treated Harry and Meghan badly, the ones who did the nicknames and they did things behind their backs. And I'm sure there were things done behind their backs that we don't even know about. And they said, courtiers do not believe a reapproachment with William is possible. So here's my question. Yes, William is not nice. He is spoiled. He is self-centered. He is selfish. And I've never met him, but I made those. So I'm telling you, I came to those conclusions watching videos of there was one that showed Harry and his dad and him, and Harry was snuggled up under his dad on the grass, and William was hitting his dad in the head. And I mean, it wasn't playful, it was mean. Or the time that Harry was playing with a little dog and William came and took it out of his arms. And the statements that have been made that that William has been jealous of Harry all his life? Why is that? If you're going to be king, you're king. You got money. You'll have all this money. You'll be able to live in Sandringham or Balmoral Castle or Buckingham Palace or whatever. You have the capacity to help make laws, but he appears, the things that have gone on, I'm still telling you, this is my opinion, the way things have gone on and the way they treated the Sussexes at the Commonwealth Service last January, just as they were leaving. This is, it just says to me there's something wrong. Now, there's no words coming out of his mouth. We've not heard any words come from William. Please understand that. And if these royal reporters and these courtiers or these sources are putting the words in his mouth, please understand, and guys, don't get mad at me, but they could be putting words in his mouth just like they put words in the mouth of Harry and Meghan. TC the liar, she's been on lots of TV. She was on one of she talked about, she's the one that broke the story about Meghan making Kate cry. I bet she got the whole story. And it's possible that she just decided to twist it. It's also possible that Kate made Meghan cry during the fittings and all that stuff. And then, as Meghan said, Kate came and wrote a note of apology, brought her flowers. And Meghan may have said to her, based on the knowledge of the Meghan I got to know before the royal family, and based on all her friends, of how kind and generous and loving she is, that she probably hugged Kate. This is conjecture. She hugged Kate and said, "It's okay. You just had a baby. I'm worried about my dad and the whole wedding fiasco thing. It's okay." And Kate decided to cry. Or not decided, but she started crying. So yeah, in that scenario, Meghan made Kate cry. It's so many scenarios. I'm writing that down. How Meghan made Kate cry. And it's probably on the thumbnail you saw. Because it's like sometimes I say things and I go, that's a good idea, I'll remember it, and I don't. So what else are we looking at? Okay, what did they say? Harry will have to take ownership of every word forevermore. There's no room for deniability. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why did I write my books? Because I want people to know what I thought. I wanted to share with people the knowledge that I've gained. There's no deniability if you look at all my videos on YouTube or listen to my Spreaker audios. There's no way I can deny what I said. On top of that, it's not only going to be a book, it's going to be audio too. I tell you. What else did I note? I made a bunch of notes. Let's see. They're putting up fences as to why the book coming out next year is bad. Oh yeah, and other people have put some additional ones on Twitter. One, it's the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Well, that's going to happen no matter what. The other brother's 40th birthday, and this one cracked me up. The 25th anniversary of Diana's murder, to me, murder, death. And why is that so big deal? You know, my mother passed in 1981. What's that, 81, 91, 2001, 2011. I could have not celebrated, but marked the 40th year since she died. She's been dead longer than I was alive when she died. I was 35. That's another story I need to tell y'all one day. But why? But here's what the additional notes. You know, when things come to mind, I got to make notes, otherwise I totally forget. It says, but Harry clearly doesn't care, is what they said. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they didn't care when all the lies and vitriol was being hurled at his wife and his child, at him. They called him a child, dim-witted and controlled by Meghan. If I were him, I wouldn't care what they thought. And I think he's there. He doesn't care. I mean, he cares. He and Meghan still care. But he doesn't care in the sense that he's going to keep his mouth shut. He doesn't care because he knows millions upon millions upon millions of people believe them and have seen how they were treated. And in that little island that's smaller than California, with less people than California, what do we care? You know, no matter what they do, it's at the wrong time, right? So all these reasons why he shouldn't put it out, the book next year, or the wrong way, or the wrong thought, or the wrong something. And I'm just saying, go for it, Harry. And here's the other thing. And I want Harry, I hope you saw my Twitter post on this. Harry and Meghan do not have to tell anyone where their money is going. They don't have to announce that they're giving the money to charity. I don't care. Put it in your pocket. And then once you put it in your pocket, if you want to give it to charity, give some money to charity. I know that he thought, or maybe, no, again, this is my opinion, that by saying that they're going to give the proceeds to charity, that it would soften the blow. Well, we don't care about softening the blow. What we care about is that his information is out there, that who he is out there. So he doesn't have to tell where his money is going. It's none of their business. This is just another ploy to bully him into giving them fodder for their columns, right? They're putting out there his advance was $20 million. How did they know? And people are repeating it. What if his advance was 30 or 40 million? Or his advance was 10 cents or 10 million? Who cares? Now they're going off, well, they need to tell us what they're doing with the advance. So what? The proceeds, he ain't going to sell that many books, so there's going to be that much proceeds. And I'm going, do you remember the Together cookbook? I don't pay that much for cookbooks. I go to half-price books or the discount bookstore and look at their cookbooks. But I paid full price for the Together cookbook to support the charity that Meghan was supporting. I truly believe that Harry doesn't give a damn. They didn't care about him. He's there to do what's right for him. He no longer cares about how his actions impact the monarchy. And I say right on. He went to California with the goal of showing that he will never need to tell on his family for money again. He doesn't have to tell on his family. He doesn't have to be the scapegoat and the beat up boy, the bullied person, the less than person so that the other brother can look good. He has proven beyond a doubt that he's brilliant. He does not need to be under the firm's thumb because he needed money to live. This is great. Princess Margaret didn't marry the man she loved because they were going to cut off her allowance. They believed that by having the purse strings, they could control him, like they controlled Margaret, like they control Edward, and kind of control Andrew. Anne she's doing her thing, and she's off doing her horses or whatever she does, and we don't know how much money she makes. We don't know how much her allowance is, and she's living in crown property. We don't know. But we do know that Harry is breaking the chains that have made the other royals bow down to the firm. Edward and Sophie tried to get out and do their thing, but they were sabotaged and restricted in success that they possibly could have achieved. And I bet you, again, this is my opinion, that Sophie was about to be successful in her PR business. And then they sent that so-called sheik in, and she says, yeah, I have the capability of, talking with other royals and getting you in to see the other royals. I have my connections like that. It may have been an innocent conversation because it was the truth. Now, I didn't read the whole thing, so if he was going to pay her for that access, that's something totally different for them. There are people, let me tell you, there are people who are called connectors in this world. I have a friend whose job is to connect entrepreneurs with people with money, or showing people with money projects that are out there. And that person who makes the connection gets paid, right? And they're all over Washington, D.C. They're all over London and the United Kingdom. And she was doing the same thing that other people do. What's the other one? Prince Michael of Kent, who said, I can get you into Putin. This stuff happens all the time. But because it's them and it's in the royal family, you can't do that. Why not? Everybody else does. Members of the family have been restricted from making decent wages. The other piece is many of them can't get away from the so-called high-style, classy lifestyle that costs a lot of money. Now, if you're in grace and favor and living in one of those big castles, you still got to pay the heat and the light, right? Now, your allowance may help pay for that, but you're stuck under the thumb of the monarchy. That's what I'm getting with. And Harry and Meghan, making their own money, are out from under that, and they don't have to do. The Buckingham Palace finally came out and said, we have nothing to do with that. Omid Scobie put it on Twitter, and I didn't record it, but they came out and said he can do what he want to do. We have nothing to say about that. So I'm going to end this by saying Harry and Meghan are free to become gazillionaires, and I'm here to help them get there by supporting their projects, and hopefully you are too. Not just because they've been treated badly, but because they are very good people and they put out quality stuff. Personally, I'm waiting on Meghan to come out with an affordable clothing and accessory line because I'm up to it. So Harry, you don't have to tell him where the money is going. Meghan, no, neither do you. Well, I've been talking for quite a while, and the doorbell rang, so I'm coming back after a short interlude. But just want you to know that I truly believe that Harry and Meghan are independent. They can do what they want. I am here to support them, and they do not need to tell us where they're spending their money, where their contracts go, what, how much they're making. That's up to them. And the bullying coming from that tiny little island over there, they need to shut up, because all they're doing really is making noise. But we who support the Sussexes, we are making even more noise, and we're bringing out the receipts, and we're telling them to back off. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's conversation. Yes, it is different from my normal videos, but the reason I'm talking about it is because they have taken control of their life. They are manifesting the life that they desire. They are not allowing other people to define to them how they should live. And yes, I'm hoping that they start handing out lawsuits right and left, but it's up to them. But if you really want to live the life that you want, just listen to some of my other videos, manifesting videos under the manifesting playlists. If you want to learn how I cook stuff or do-it-yourself stuff, I have playlists for that. I decided that one YouTube channel is enough for now. And mainly my channel is so that my grandbabies, my great-grandbabies, and family will know who I am and what I stood for and what I stand for. So I'm glad you came along with me, and please take the time to hit the bell. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for being here and supporting this channel. Share this channel as I work to grow the channel, to help other people understand that they can live the life that they desire. As you believe, let it be done to you, and it is so, and I will see you in the next video.